Hey, what about ants?
Dan Wilcox's job is no picnic. It may look like one, but the bucket he carries with him isn't for the beach or a walk in the park. It doesn't have a sandwich in it, or any food for that matter, although the ants around here wish it did. Dan harvests ants, millions of them every year. He sends his ants to museums, to zoos, and even to Hollywood to be in the movies. Sometimes they're sent across the world for cancer treatment and research. But most of the time, they're sent to folks just like you who want to see and learn more about the fascinating world of ants.
The red ant, that's the most common name for him. The common name is western harvester. The scientific name is Pogonomyrmex occidentalis. We'll go and find where their hole is, and we dig a little trench to the side in the summertime. And then once we blow a little bit, they'll smell your breath, and in about a second, they can tell the whole ant hill, the rest of the ants, that there's an enemy out there to come out and to fight.
Why are ants so important?
Ants have been around for a long time, even before certain dinosaurs roamed the earth. And even though we sometimes think of them as pests, ants are important. They're a vital part of the food chain. They provide food for birds, lizards, and animals like the anteater, and even chimpanzees. Their harvesting enriches the soil, and sometimes they help control other pests by eating them.
What's so great about western harvester ants?
There are at least 10,000 different species of ants in the world. But of all the different kinds, western harvester ants are found to be the best suited for pets and ant habitats. Western harvester ants are unique. They're very strong and very industrious, even by ant standards. And because of the way they tunnel, their activities can be easily observed in an ant habitat.
Where do western harvester ants live?
Western harvester ants are found predominantly in the southwestern United States. They, as well as all ants, are social insects, which means they live in colonies and depend on one another for survival. In their natural environment, western harvester ants engineer mounds of small gravel on top of their colony to protect them from their enemies. The mound shape allows the sun to warm the inside of the nest. It also forces rain or other moisture to drain away from the single main entrance. Ants are omnivorous, which means they eat both plants and animals. We strongly suggest feeding your ants mostly vegetables, grains, and fruit. but not citrus fruits. Life Studies offers a supply of seed mixture that ants really love, and as you see here, the ants are actually growing some of these seeds for future food.
Do ants have different jobs? What do ants do?
As the ants in your habitat begin to tunnel and develop the colony, you'll notice that the food chambers will be located near the top. It is the duty of the forager ants to gather and harvest food for the rest of the colony. The builder ants within the colony are especially strong. Ants are known to carry things many times their own weight, the equivalent of thousands of pounds by human standards. Guard ants protect the nest from intruders. When ants sense danger, they quickly alert other ants by emitting a chemical signal from their bodies. These chemicals are called pheromones, and when they are received by the ant's antenna, every available ant rushes to the entrance to protect the nest.
What about the queen?
Deep inside the nest of an ant colony lives a queen ant. There is only one queen per colony, even though all the ants in the colony are female. Each spring, a small number of male and female ants will hatch with wings. Soon, these designated ants fly out of the nest and mate. After mating, the males die. The new queens search out separate locations to build their new colonies, and after shedding their wings, they lay their own eggs. A new generation of ants begins the life cycle. A new queen will take care of the eggs until enough of them hatch and begin caring for themselves. These nursery ants will transport the eggs to different levels of the nest to keep the eggs at a constant temperature until they hatch. Most ants live anywhere from 1 to 5 years, but it is common for a queen ant to live 8, 10, or even up to 20 years.
Why don't I have a queen? Why didn't you send me a queen?
Your shipment of ants will never contain a queen because the queen is vital to the survival of each colony. Once a colony is harvested, the queen will lay even more eggs to compensate for the ants that are gone. Sometimes as many as 15,000 ants can be harvested from a single colony. The tunnels and chambers of the western harvester ant have been known to reach depths of 15 feet or more. Because the queen can reproduce so rapidly, there is no danger of overharvesting. Life Studies has been involved with ant harvesting for over 30 years. It is a serious science. Even the weather conditions are monitored worldwide every day to protect each shipment of ants. Sometimes ants can't be shipped for several days or even weeks to certain areas if the weather is too hot or too cold.
Can you help me put my ant habitat together?
Once you receive your ants, it's important to put them into a container as soon as possible. It's also very important to follow these steps when preparing your ant container. First, remember, these ants can bite and sting you if you're not careful. Always use adult supervision when handling your ants and preparing your container. Second, place the vial of ants in the refrigerator, not the freezer, for about 5 minutes, but no more. The cold will make the ants less active and easier to handle. Next, put the special volcanic sand into your container with some type of funnel. Now, an ordinary piece of paper can be rolled up and used for this purpose. Life Studies has supplied you with this unique sand because it's just the right consistency for your container, and it's perfect for the ants to tunnel in. If you use ordinary sand, the ants might not develop their tunnels as efficiently. Once the volcanic sand is inside, you may want to shift the container from side to side to level the sand. With the sand in the container, you'll need to moisten it so the ants can dig in it without the tunnels collapsing. A good way to do this is by sticking a straw inside a container of water. Place a finger on the end of the straw and lift it up. Put the straw of water inside the container, lift your finger, and let the water drain into the sand. You'll need to repeat this a few times until a little more than half of the sand is moist. Then, very carefully, put the ants in the container using a funnel. Now remember, be careful. The ants can sting and it can be very painful. Keep in mind that your ants come from a desert environment and won't need much more water. They'll get plenty of water from the sand and the moisture in the food you'll be feeding them.
What should I feed my ants?
You'll want to feed them small pieces of fruits and vegetables like apples and lettuce about every other day.
How long will my ants live?
Depending on conditions like the size of your container and proper food, most ants will live a few weeks and sometimes up to a year in an ant habitat. The ants will immediately begin to go to work on their new colony, and within just a few hours you'll begin to see amazing changes. Enjoy your ants and their habitat. Show them to your friends and your family, even to your schoolmates for science projects. You'll be amazed at how diligent they really are.